Hello, my name is Holly Dorr. I'm here today to tell you about something that affects you directly, academic advising for WSU Online distance students. This quote can be found on WSU's website describing their definition of academic advising. It reads, "At Washington State University, academic advising is an educational and collaborative relationship in which students and advisors are partners in planning academic, personal, and career goals." I had two overall objectives for my project. The first was to learn what the overall feeling from current WSU Online students is towards academic advising. This was to discover if the program is even in need of any improvements. My second objective for the project was to discover the academic advising processes set into place by WSU Online. This would include things such as daily tasks for advisors and what requirements the school has in place before hiring. After creating a survey for students, the survey was distributed to 3 online classes. A total of 62 potential students could have taken the survey, and 38 actual responses were received. The survey consisted of 10 questions, but the question that greatly addressed the first objective of my project was this one: do you agree or disagree that academic advising at WSU Online could use improvement? 31 of the 38 students agreed that yes, WSU Online academic advising could use improvement. Students were asked to suggest improvements for the program if they thought any were necessary. Out of the responses, these are some of the most mentioned suggestions. Many students noted their advisors take several days to respond to them and would like a quicker response time. On that same note, several mentioned that they thought their advisor was spread too thin, and if advisors had less students, they could lessen turnaround time and allow their advisor to spend more quality time with each student. Students would like advisors to provide them with more career options, specifically that cater to their degree so they can explore their possibilities post-graduation in the field of study. And last but not least, students would like to hear from their advisors more throughout the semester. 73.7% of students noted that their advisors only initiate contact with them about 1 to 2 times a semester. After the student survey was created, I created a survey specifically for the WSU Online advisors. All 5 advisors took the survey. When asking them how they felt about the advising program for WSU Online, 100% said they were satisfied with the current program. From the advisor survey results, I discovered that advisors all have a different amount of students that they advise. The lowest amount was 300, and the highest was 550 students per advisor. Training for advisors was taught primarily from other advisors and peers. Some advisors mentioned they also received professional development training through ACADA, the Academic Advising Association. 4 of the advisors noted that their primary means of communicating with students was through email, and 1 was on the phone. When asked if WSU has a specific turnaround time set into place for advisors to reply to students, they replied that no, but they tried to within 24 to 48 hours. The advisors all noted that a bachelor's degree was required at the time of hiring, but now certain departments are requiring or preferring a master's degree. A few weeks ago, I interviewed a WSU Online student who overall said she was dissatisfied with the advising received from WSU Online. She informed me that she will wait days to hear back from her advisor and that she felt that her advisor and probably others have too many students to deal with at a time. One example of miscommunication that she has encountered is last semester when she emailed her professor to ensure that she would be set to graduate this spring, and her advisor told her she was 1 credit short. After getting help from a professor and doing her own research, I discovered her advisor was actually wrong, and she was set to graduate. The student noted they were surprised that a professor was more helpful in guiding them in the right direction than their advisor. I recently interviewed one of the WSU Online academic advisors and learned a bit more about their role. This particular advisor meets with about 30 to 50 students a week and spends about 60% of their day advising students. In addition to advising, the advisor spends time recruiting students and working with local community colleges. I asked if they used any program or database to track a student's progress or any notes on them, and they informed me that they have a private Excel spreadsheet for each student, which has their schedule, their teachers, and special notes. I asked if there were any actions taken by WSU if a student is given misinformation by an advisor that adversely affects their path towards graduation, and the advisor informed me that ultimately graduation is dependent on the student. Advisors are there to act as guides and always strive to give the best service, but it is important for students to take an active role since it is their education and money. I found it interesting how the majority of students at the program needed improvement, but advisors all were satisfied with it. Overall, I think that there are definitely areas that could use an improvement in advising, and additional resources for online students could be particularly helpful, as well as hiring more advisors and lowering the advisor-to-student ratio.